morning, everyone. Hello. Fingers crossed this works because we are currently, well, it's at the tail end now, but there's a torrential downpour of rain going on outside. So that has affected the internet steadiness here before. Fingers crossed, because we're now on fiber optic, it will be better. Just had an email to say I've gone live, so that's good. Apparently there's 7 of you here already. I know I'm early. I am early. It's not going to be a super long live stream today because we do have to film for Vlogmas and things like that as well. So there will be at least an hour of hanging out and sort of like tidying up and organising. I've got to find a home for my new printer and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we have the very lovely Joker Clues here. Morning, Sean. Good morning. And Devon Threadtails. Hey, hello. How are you? Yeah, lots to do. Oh, first up, before I forget, I need to say an absolutely huge thank you to absolutely everybody that has signed up for Patreon for another year. Thank you very much to everybody who signed up for Patreon for the past year. And thank you to everybody who's been on Patreon for any amount of time, because honestly, it really is the game changer in this whole thing, and is the thing that is making it possible for me to not stress so much about the fluctuating ad revenue that YouTube does or does not generate. But I have a lovely long list. Can you see that? Nope, that's just a white screen. Oh, look, there you go. I have a list of people, new peeps to say hi to. This is a couple of weeks worth, because for some reason or another, I just completely blanked on it last week. But I have to say welcome to the very lovely Sue Hall. So welcome and thank you to the Leslie, Leslie Stanford has also joined. So thank you, Leslie, and welcome. Daniela Ray has joined. Thank you. And Sarah Behrman, I can speak. Words are not hard. So welcome, Sarah, and thank you. Jemmy Book has joined, and Jemmy Book I know does come to the Hangout, so thank you very much. Fabienne Wengler has also joined, so thank you. Renee Patterson has joined the Patreon peeps. Thank you very much. Argent Minx has joined the Patreon peeps. Thank you. And I know Argent sends me messages on Instagram, so thank you very much for coming over to Patreon. Courtney Bauer, I hope I've said your last name correctly, has joined the Patreon peeps. And last but not least is the lovely Kathy Logue. And Kathy has signed up for another year, so thank you very much, Kathy. And then I also need to say thank you to Charlotte, Courtney, and Linda. Linda's here for their coffees. I know I sent you guys a little just text on the coffee account to say thank you. But as you guys know, I am swapping over my website, and the website was done and it was ready to launch on the 1st of December, and technically it is published, but I own my own domain name and have done for 12 years now, kittenishbehaviour.com, and I bought it on 123reg, and I have paid for that domain to be maintained until the end of November next year on 123reg. And then when I tried to integrate it onto Squarespace, there was a bunch of codes and sort of things that I needed to do, DNS stuff, and it got to the point where it's just like, I don't understand this. And transferring it over to Squarespace was £16, and I've paid it's £16 for the year for my domain name as well till the end of November. So it was just like, you know what, I'm going to spend what is basically £32 to put it all under one umbrella. So it's currently being transferred over to Squarespace from 123reg. And I mean, there was nothing wrong with 123reg. I would totally have stayed with them if I could have worked out, but I am not that tech savvy. So I did not know what I was doing, and I did not want to mess anything up, because I'd spent, a good day putting together the new website, and I just didn't want to mess up my domain name in any way. So I've just transferred it over to Squarespace. So they're currently transferring it over. So technically the website is published, but you can't find it if you search for kittenishbehaviour.com, because it's not linked yet. So I had a goal to launch on the 1st of December. Technically I did, just nobody can see it. But it should be coming soon. They said it's like up to 72 hours, and I did it. That's at the end of today. So fingers crossed I'll be able to show you guys the website soon. I mean, it's nothing major. The only thing on there at the moment is the retreat, which does need to be launched because I know there are people that want to book. And then the first blog post is going to be the book tote, which is cut out and sitting next to you right now. So yeah, it's coming. It's just taking me a little bit more brain power than I thought it would. So yes, but all that was a very long-winded way of saying my Ko-fi account was linked to my old email. So the Kittenish Behaviour emails have both ceased working because my last website was completely taken down by my old web provider. And so I need to get a new email address. I would like the same one if that's possible. I have no idea. That's the next problem I need to look into. Currently, I'm using kittenishbehaviour@gmail.com, but my Ko-fi account is linked to the old email address, so I can still access it, and I'm still getting any donations from it, but I'm not getting the email to say I've had the donation. So when I went and checked it the other day, both Linda and Courtney, Charlotte, Courtney have both sent me coffees. So thank you very much. Charlotte sent me the coffee to cover the cost of the brown lining for my dandle. So thank you, Charlotte. And Linda sent me a couple of coffees to say that I needed cheering up and looked like I needed a hug. And I think that was after I'd announced that I'd broken up with my ex. So thank you very much, Linda. That's very much appreciated. And coffee is a really good way, and not just for me, loads of, I think there's quite a few, if not most, sewing YouTubers that I know of have coffee accounts as well. It's just a way of like literally buying your favorite creator a coffee, which is why it's called coffee. It's KO-FY, words are hard. And then you just search for the name of your favorite creator on there, or they'll probably have it linked in their description like I do. And if you can't sign up for a monthly Patreon donation, then you can just buy them a coffee to say thank you for the content, I've enjoyed it. So there's that option as well, which is very, very nice. And it's very lovely to get a little coffee because you can leave a little note on there as well. And it's all very, yeah, it's lovely. So thank you. Anyway, where did I get to? Elena's here. Good morning, Shine and Lovely Peeps. Elena, you get a shout out in this afternoon's Vlogmas that I've still not finished editing because yeah, well, you'll see later. But yes, Elena, you get a shout out. Helsinki is mentioned, which I then went and double checked that you lived in Finland. And it wasn't that was why you got mentioned. It was because the gin that Mum got was from Finland, which I didn't even know that was a thing. So yes. Luminaria says, good morning from frosty Wisconsin. Good morning. Linda says, morning. Lots of snow here in Cheshire. Really, I love snow. Marcia says, good morning from Austin, Texas. Good morning. Joker Clee says, yeah, I know, it's been a minute, lol. It's been a little crazy around here, considering it's the time of the mooing again. Lol, unfortunately, it's reasonably quiet since the temps above normal again. Nice. That's okay. Your other half was here last week, which was lovely because she was asleep. And she let us know that you were here in spirit, but you were asleep. Fox says, hello, peeps. Hello. How are you finding Vlogmas? Julie Elizabeth says, good morning from Virginia. Cold and rainy here. Same. Mim says, hello, Sean. Hope you're well. Very well, thank you. Luminaria says, yay. By the way, what lovely dress are you wearing today? I don't think I've seen it before. This is the Vogue 9199 in some scuba that I got from Fabric Styles because most of my scuba comes from Fabric Styles. I'm so excited about this one. I think I've cracked it. But thank you. Eleanor says, you now have the book tote. When possibly you will write the book? I know, it's an old joke. Loads of people keep telling me that I should turn my dating disaster stories into a book because it would be hilarious. I might do that. Especially if I sign up for Grammarly and get them to make it like actually legible, because my my writing and speech patterns are probably not quite normal. It makes sense in my head when I write it down, but when I go back to reread it, I'm like, what was I saying? So yeah. Nimue says, hello everyone. Hello. Conchetta says, hi everyone. Happy Sunday. Hello. Happy Sunday. Carolyn says, good morning. Happy soggy Sunday. Yes. Conchetta says, I've read that one. Elena says, we have a couple of nice gin companies. This one began with a K. K. But yes, I'd never heard of them before, so I will have to get a report back from Mum if she went out for a birthday party last night, so I'm not sure if she had her gin last night. But as you guys know, she's currently at church, so when she comes back, they're going to come down and do calendars. Jokingly says, roll on my floor, laughing my ass off. I'm quite surprised she actually commented. She's usually quieter than a bone orchard on Halloween. And she let us know that she was here supporting and representing, so that was very nice. Nimue says, our snow is slowly vanishing, but we're supposed to get more tonight and tomorrow. Snow in early December. What even is this? I know, it was like -2 here yesterday. Just like, we're by the sea. That's meant to keep things a little warmer. So yeah. Rock says, Vlogmas is hard. Creating content, filming, editing every day is for the pros. Hats off to you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, Vlogmas was an interesting experience the first time around because I tried to do it the same day. This time around, I do start a day early. So you're seeing day 3 this afternoon, and we're filming day 4 today. And it's the only way that I've found that actually made it possible for me to not drive myself crazy, because it was fine when I didn't have to do anything in the evening, but then there's so many events and things that you get to go out and do of an evening in December that I was just like, I have no time for this. I can't be editing till 2 in the morning. It's just not, no. So I started a day early now. So yeah. Kathy says, good morning. So glad I can finally join a live hangout again. Good morning, Kathy. Welcome. Nicola says, morning from very cold and frosty Inverness. Currently doing a Mahusif ironing session. Nice. I added the session, but nice. I mean, not nice. Ironing is really boring, but yeah. Jojo's here. Morning. All happy Sunday. Hope you are well. Thank you. Yes, I'm not sure I put the inflections in the right place on that sentence, but morning. Linda says, Mittens just had to have a gentle push outside, walked back to the bedroom and was just climbing through the bedroom window. Guess she doesn't do snow. No snow. Auntie Blade says, good morning. You all keeping me company at work this morning. I have had 9 days off. I wish I had won the lottery because I don't want to work. Yeah, Mum's still walking around with an unchecked lottery ticket in her purse. We could be multimillionaires. If we were, we would probably be going somewhere very hot for Christmas. And we're definitely going somewhere very hot for the entirety of January and February. And we'll have to buy a sewing machine when we get there. But yeah, Mum does not do January. So I think they are hoping to go and visit my brother in January, if not February. We shall see. Then they're going to abandon me and I'm going to look after the dog and the cat. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Right, so I did threaten some tidying today. You are currently sitting in the middle of a giant mess. So I probably ought to turn you around and start doing some of that tidying. But I also need a box to put you on, because otherwise you'll spend the day looking up at me, which is not a flattering angle, as we know. There's a box. Don't know if that's enough of a box, though. Ooh, up you go. There's one. Ah! There's 2. Second box. There we go. Oh, I think as well, sorry, my tights are falling down. These are snag tights and I love them and they're not meant to fall down, but these ones constantly do. And I'm just wondering if I've got the sizing wrong. But then, because they do multiple sizes this way and that way. But then I went by what they recommended I should have. So I don't know. Anyway, we're coming around here. So, oh look, I did this the other night on Wednesday night with the Zoom Peeps hangout. But my nameplate for my new book tote is cut out, as are my decorative strips. And this, hopefully, like I say, I want it on the new, I want the video to come out at the same time as the blog post does, because I'm going to be releasing the pattern for that. So I need to make that this week. And this afternoon's plan is to make the pencil cases because that is an afternoon project, but I need to film it, so I can't start cutting anything out now because I need to film it. So I'm just tidying at the moment. Let's turn you around a little bit more because we are dealing with chaos. I do need to order the overlocker thread for this dress because this is our cleaner's dress and she's swapping an hour of mum's time. It's going to take mum more than an hour to hem it because it's way too long for her. But we don't have the right color overlocker thread, and we're going to do narrow because it's a chiffon skirt, so she's going to do a narrow rolled hem on the chiffon. Rather her than me, which is why I did not volunteer. Words are hard. What was I saying? Yes, so I need to order that so that can get done because mum really doesn't like it hanging there. But that's why that is hanging there. It belongs to neither of us. Okay, so what am I going to do? Well, put mum's calendar away for now because that's currently in the way. So I need to turn you guys around a little bit more. There we go. My new printer. Isn't it cute? I never thought I'd say that about a printer. Printers are not usually described as cute, but this one is. Oh, mum didn't have her gin last night because here it is. It's from Cairo, Elena. Have you ever heard of? So 42.6% volume. Alchemiholic. But yeah, so mum's gonna have 2 gins. She's backed up 1 gin, so that's gonna be interesting. I'll put that by the front door because that way she will see it. Okay, so this all needs to go. Right, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm getting attacked by bears. Okay, I've got a giant pile of goodies over here that are going to the $15 Patreon Peeps. It's bits and pieces that I have been making and stashing over the last year. And for the $15 Patreon tier, at the end of the year, which we just had, they get a mail out from me, an actual physical little present, and it's going to be different every time. And it's just little bits and pieces that I have, as I say, made over the year or collected or seen that I think people will like. But I need to do that this month. So there's going to be a day next week where I sit down, package these all up so that these can get sent out and hopefully get to people in time for Christmas. There are 22 people on that tier. And it doesn't matter if you signed up for a whole year or 1 month, as long as you're signed up within the time frame, you will get the mail out. So mum went through my patterns the other day, the ones that I destashed, and this is what's left over. And I put those bags up there because in the new year, I decided not to try and do it this month because I've got enough to do this month. I'm going to start putting and listing these on my website. So the shop will open on the website in the new year. There will be some fabric on there as well. There will be some destash fabric and some new fabric as well, because I'm going to place an order with Lady McElroy for a couple of different prints that I really love, and I will be I need to order a minimum of 20 meters, so I'm not going to have very much fabric, and it's going to be kind of along the lines of, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, but fabrics that I use for sew-alongs I will have up on the website for other people to buy as well. And I don't want to become a fabric shop. I definitely don't want to do that. I don't have time to do that. It's a very labor intensive job, and I love this aspect of my job, the sewing and teaching side of what I do. So I want to continue to focus on that. but I do want to be able to share my favourite fabrics with other people, especially because I know there's a few of you, and I won't be ordering giant masses of fabric, but I know there's a few of you that particularly like to buy the same fabrics that I do to make the same thing when I do a sew along. So there will be a few fabrics being bought and being put up for sale as well. I might do it as a shop is open for 1 week of the month. Okay, that's what I had planned, was like a few of my favorite things, and at the beginning of each month put them up for sale. Whatever sells in that time gets posted at the end of that week, and then the shop shuts again. And I might do it once a quarter, I might do it once a month. It depends how it goes, but that's kind of the plan. But so the patterns will be coming, because I know there's a few people who've been inquiring about different patterns, and whilst I really appreciate the inquiry, it's I want to put it up in the shop and do it through the shop, because it's also taxable income for me. So I need to have a way of measuring it, and I don't want to just have like 1 or 2 going out here or there and then forget about them. And I know it's like they're going to be like £2, £3, £4, but still things add up. And I just, with HMRC cracking down on side hustles, I really don't want to get anything wrong. So having it all go through the shop is going to be, in my head, easier. Just what's works for me. But anyway, that was a really long waffly thing to say that I've got somewhere for these to live, if I can get at it. Because I did put the bags. Okay, I think that worked. Right. So I have created space over here, which is where I want to store my printer, over here. I'll turn you around a bit more. Where did I get to with the chat? Jojo says, you're currently sitting in a giant mess. How did you know? Looks around the living room at the chaos. No, well, you know, we're kindred spirits for a reason. Comments here. Woohoo! I made it for the live. Hello. And it was lovely to see you the other night. Sorry your sound and audio wasn't working overly well, but it was very lovely of you to, because Carmen's in the Patreon Peeps and the $10 and $15 tier. I do a Zoom chat every Wednesday evening. So Carmen came along to that. So thank you very much. It was lovely to see you. Anna says, hi, first time on a live, visiting family in Chile, and the time zone is closer to you than my usual Los Angeles. Oh, good morning. It's very early there still though, isn't it? Elena says, no, it's probably one of the new small batch distilleries. Okay. I'll have to let you know what Mum thinks of it. Joker Clee says, we live in a mess that's large enough that we're considering filing for disaster assistance. Nice. Elena says, we'll be waiting for your mum's review of it, because I also like gin and tonic time to time. I shall let her know. Gin Pin says, morning, Peeps, from a very cold and snowy Newcastle upon Tyne. Yeah. Beja says, good evening from Malaysia. Good evening. Whereabouts in Malaysia are you? My baby brother is in Kuala Lumpur. Is it evening? Gosh, you're 8 hours ahead, aren't you? So yeah, it is. Jen and Pin says, ooh, that's a different view. Yes, the construction site that is the back garden. So this part of the back garden is looking like a disaster zone at the moment, but the other part of the back garden that used to look like a disaster zone because all this was there is starting to look a lot better. Dad is building different structures and painting things, and getting everything sorted for next summer, when hopefully the back garden will be usable. The front garden's beautiful, but the back garden has been a work in progress for a while now. So yeah, let's see. Regia says, I'm in Kuala Lumpur. Want to send you some batik fabric. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. There is a PO box number or address in the description down below. James, my brother, like I say, lives in Kuala Lumpur. He really likes the wet deck. Apparently when we go, we have to go to the Wet Deck, which is a bar, and there's loads of places, but yeah, that's the one place that springs to mind. Anna says 8:45 a.m. in Santiago. Ah, okay, that's still early, but not as early as California. Yes. Carmen says, I was so happy to have joined the live. I'm looking forward to the next one and my technology working. Yes, that would be good. Fingers crossed. Beja says, and I want to say thank you. You helped me with my sewing confidence. Oh, thank you. That's so cool. I actually, so, you know, I was talking earlier about my website and how it's not quite working yet. I Googled last night, kittenishbehaviour.com, and a whole bunch of stuff came up. And like, you know, majority of it was linking back to me. So my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, different specific sew-alongs and things like that. But also gossip came up. And you know you shouldn't Google yourself. You know you shouldn't Google yourself. But I was Googling for other reason. And then like a bunch of Reddit threads came up. And I was just like, oh, do I do this? And then I was like, I can't not look now. So I looked, and actually everybody was lovely. There was one Reddit thread just saying that they hated YouTube tutorials and sew-alongs. And there was quite a long thread, and somebody piped up with, well, I really like Tomcat Stitchery and Kittenish Behaviour. There's a really thorough, and they do try and get lots of different camera angles and usually do explain the tricky bits really well. And it was just like, oh, and then somebody else was like, yeah, I love those too. It's just like, yay. And then there was a couple of other Reddit threads as well that I'd been mentioned in, and it was along the same lines. It was just like, oh, my collar tutorial, which is I got from Foursquare Walls, and they got from somewhere else. You know, we didn't invent this, but for me, I'm a visual video learner, so the blog post was good, but there were bits in the blog post where it was just like, eh. And so when I did it, it was like, oh, and so that's why I put a video out and linked back to where I got the information from. But it was one of those things where it's just like, I do better with videos, which is why I've made a video. And whenever I've made a video that I got the information from a blog post, I always try and link back to the original source that I found it on. But I know one of the Reddit threads was like, oh, I hate people claiming and naming things after themselves when they didn't invent things. And it's like, okay, fine. But, you know, some people, there's probably only a finite way of doing things. It's a fairly large amount of things that can be done to end up with a certain result. But it is, if you think about it, finite. Eventually, you'll come back to using the same method somebody else has done. So everything's probably been invented already, with regards to kind of sewing techniques and things like that. Nobody is like coming up with brand new kind of click your fingers and suddenly you've got a pair of trousers that fit. But it is completely possible for people to have never seen anything done that way before and come up with a method that is already out there and a proven workable method, but it's completely possible for someone to come up with that by themselves, and then name it after themselves because they're like, oh, look what I discovered. I read the Temeraire books. There's one point where Temeraire ends up in a dragon colony, with dragons that have refused riders or didn't want to be, you know, in the armed services and things. And so he's talking to this little dragon who was retired because she was for cowardice, because she didn't want to fight. And it was just like, you know, I totally respect that. She was a scholar and she was coming up with all these mathematical theories. And she's like, I thought of this, look, I've invented this and it always works. And Temeraire's like, yes, no, that's Pythagoras's theory. And then, you know, she's coming up with all these mathematical proofs. And Temeraire was like, yeah, no, that's already been invented by somebody else and it's called this. But it doesn't negate the fact that she was like, oh no, I've worked out the thing. So yeah, it was an interesting read because the original poster was just like, oh, I really hate when people name stuff after themselves. You didn't discover this. This has been around for ages. And it's like, okay, fine, fair enough. But you know, it's totally possible for people to have discovered things on their own. I mean, they're not trying to publish it as like a thesis to then be defended in a Viva. I think they are, to then get a doctorate to be like, I discovered the thing. You know, they're putting it out there as like, look at the thing I discovered. And some blog posts like the 4 square walls collar tutorial do become synonymous with that type of collar construction. So people call it that because that was where they found the information. Yeah, sorry, I went off on a massive waffle, but basically I Googled myself last night and then read the gossip, and it was all nice. Which was lovely, which was absolutely lovely. The only one that I couldn't find the actual reference to me is there's an American singer who has launched a clothing brand called Kittenish, and she uses the hashtag Kittenish Behaviour, and I have copyrighted or trademarked, sorry, Kittenish Behaviour, but I couldn't afford to do it in America. I could only afford to do it in the UK and Europe. But the Kittenish Behaviour hashtag had been around before her brand was around, and so she started like using that hashtag, and totally fine. But there was already well over 1,000 people or tags on that hashtag, but it's the English spelling. And so one of the Reddit posts was people were like, why is she using the English spelling? She's American. She's like, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that was a lot of waffle, wasn't it? Sorry. And the chat's gone completely quiet. Like, it has not updated in the entire time that I waffled. So I will catch up with it, and then we can clear some space for my new printer, which is very cute and already has schmut on it. No. So apparently this prints really nice photos. So fingers crossed that's true. We shall see. Let's see, where did I get to with the chat? Jokingly says, I did manage to get the disaster that was a flat deck truck mostly unloaded. The kids still have to move the bricks off it, but I need to swap bale forks for a bucket for that. And I managed to start working on plans for the patio with the aforementioned bricks that will be surrounded by grape arbor with pergola around the edges for the grapes to climb. Very pretty. Very pretty. Gin and Pin says, I hope my local supermarket has fresh cranberries in. Found a recipe for cranberry vodka for Christmas. It takes 2 weeks to make, apparently. Ooh, good luck with that. Miss Vicky Who says, good evening from Brisbane, Australia. Summer is now in fuller swing, 34 degrees today. I am jealous. It is 2 degrees out there and only 18 degrees in here at the moment. I actually don't feel too cold though. I was worried that I was going to be cold here and I was going to put a scarf on, but I was just, I don't want to have to wear a scarf every day, so I'm going to try without. I've got plenty of fabric down here that I can just wrap around myself. So yeah. Carmen says, Shan had such a giggle on Friday. I received my catch-all caddy pattern from By Annie. The custom fee I needed to pay made me think of what you said about the By Annie pattern. Yeah, I have to say that PDF would be from the I have one of her patterns, but it would be such a better solution. And I don't mind paying like it was a $9.99 American USD. I wouldn't mind paying $8.99 for the pattern. I paid £12 in the UK because So Hot had to pay for the ridiculous shipping and custom fees, so the price did go up, which is fine. And I'm really glad to have the pattern. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know, but I've heard they're very good. But I have to say, it's 3 sheets of A4 paper or letter paper printed with sizes for the pattern pieces. That could be a PDF. And like you say, Carmen, customs fees for having the teeny tiny piece of paper sent. It just seems like such a trick is being missed, because I'm sure they'd get more sales if they did have PDF as an option. I mean, some of the patterns, because one of the reasons I sort of said that, and people were like, oh no, the patterns are really involved and there's loads of pieces, so loads of pattern pieces that you need to have already printed out and sized for you. It's like, okay, fine, but this one I have to draft them all myself anyway, so those ones PDF. Yeah. And then it says, I once googled myself before changing my last name, didn't find myself, only like 10,000 corn stars using the same name. Oh dear. Christine says, morning Or could you advise what sort of bias binding to use on boucle? It has some widthways stretch. Thanks. I would probably make my own out of a fabric that I liked that matched. And I would probably make it a little bit thicker or like wider so that when you press it all and then sew it, it ends up being with the width you want, because boucle is quite bouncy. I mean, as for a fabric recommendation, you want something that presses well, that matches. I mean, I had a bunch of leftovers from this rayon suiting. It's a textured, I think you could, yeah, so it's a textured rayon suiting. So I had a bunch of leftovers left from this that were like decent sized pieces, but were, you know, not the size of piece for anything clothing wise. So I cut those up into bias binding for my Zimmerman inspired cape, and I've got 17 meters of it from that, and I really like that bias binding. I've actually made it, like I say, a little bit wider than I actually want the finished one to be, because this is a slightly thicker fabric, but it has a nice drape and it presses really well. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful. Right, so I've got my cards from Elena and Nimaway that are going to need to find a new home, because I want my oh, there's a spider web up there. Got distracted by a spider. I want my printer to live up here because then it's next to the plugs. So I need to find a new place. Oh, for my cards. Oh no! Come back. One of me flowers made a bid for freedom. How dare you? Stick. There we go. So, card from Susan as well, from Australia. So yeah, I need to find a new place for these to live. It'll be fine. I'll find somewhere. It'll be fine. I'm going to put them over here for now, though. So this is going to need a little dust. I'm sorry, Mr. Spider, but you're freaking me out. I've got a little screw from, that's the hardware, Mum, but we didn't need it, so strands. Go back in there. Words are hard. Why have my camels migrated as well? What's going on here? Okay, we can do this. Oh, we're not doing this very well, but we can do this. My pin cushions. This is an empty box that's being sun bleached quite considerably. My niece sent me that with my pattern weights in it. So this one has dust. The most domesticated I ever get. Okay. So this is the tin Nimue sent me. It's a I've got mail tin. It's so cute. And it has my long clasps in it. So I think that will fit in there. That can go back there. need to not lose that screw because it's for the TV mount. My TV died a good year ago, so it fits. If it fits, it fits. So I'm not going to do anything more than plug it in though, because I have a week from when I set it up to register for instant ink. So I am going to leave it there because the lead is long enough that I can bring it down onto the table if I need to. I need to put up a hook for the key. So let's do that. So I have some command hooks. So let's put up a hook for the key, because now my printer lives where the key is used to, so I'll do that. Okay. That way we don't ever lose the key, because we know what Mum and I are like. We'll put it somewhere safe. And then we lose the key. Okay, now I need to find a home for these. You can go under the mailbox. I selflessly emptied out a box of Ferrero Rocher so that I could have a happy home for my mini screwdriver set, because the original packaging it came in got broken. I thought that was very selfless of me to make sure that the Ferrero Rocher found a new home, as did the screwdrivers. I'm a very caring and selfless person. Well, I make myself laugh if nothing else. Right, so I need this and this for later today, because I am going to be making a pencil case out of it. That can go away. This I need. This is scrap paper. I'll put it over here for now. There's still chaos behind you, but it's more organized chaos now. Let's see if I can go and get this back into the stash. It's in the bag making stash, which is probably in the worst place. I probably need to reorganize a little bit so that boxes of things that I don't use very often go into that space, and then the bag making stash can shuffle over a bit. But that's probably a problem for another Sean, not this current Sean. But this is this afternoon's project. I think we're done with the organisation. This is Mum's pile of things that she's currently working on. That's the pile of things that need to get put into the scrap stash for crazy quilting. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. In my head, I've tidied up a bit. Oh, I'm going to turn you around in a second. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hello. Okay. Oh, I had spent time like beautifully sorting that, hadn't I? And now I'm just making a mess of it again. Oh, falling over. Falling over is not good. Okay, so that's this afternoon's project, as is that. Yeah. I nearly dropped my spoon. That's this afternoon's project. And then you can go back down because I'm going to sit down again now. So I'll stop hopefully making you guys feel so seasick. I'll put this away. That's to go with that project. And then this can go there. And so whilst I still have piles of stuff everywhere, they're more organised now. And the stupid tights are falling down again. Stupid tights being stupid. Oi. Okay. That's better. I have kicked up a bunch of dust. So now, oh, right, okay. Sorry, I've just been talking at you and not reading. Let's see, here we go. Joker Clee says, my wife ordered up 10 cranberry bushes this fall, so somewhere I need to find a spot to either establish or build a cranberry bog now too. But I'm looking forward to fresh cranberries eventually. Yeah, nice. Anyway, says, designers who don't offer PDFs are damaging their own businesses at this point. Between postage and customs, international customers will stay away. I know I am. Yeah, same. Elena says there will be one glitter invasion taken to the mail on Friday. Awesome. Thank you. Christine says, thank you, Sian. That has helped, especially the point about being able to press well. Oh, gosh, yes. No, if you make bias binding with something that does not press well, that's just going to be miserable. So if you make your own, make sure the fabric presses and keeps a crease nicely, because that's just going to make your life so much more pleasant having to sew that on. Yeah. And Ari says, good morning. I'm waking up from a funny dream where a teenager invited a young attorney into her mum's home so she can laugh at him uncontrollably. Dreams can be quite strange. Yeah, that's a weird one. I like it though. Eleanor says, and you might want to open it with mum and dad. Ooh, well, it's Vlogmas, so mum and dad are willing to be on camera, so I will probably be opening it with them. You can tell I got caught in the rain. My hair's gone floofy. Lisa says, good morning, Sian. I have been watching for about half an hour on the phone. I took you into the bathroom while I had a shower. Now swapped to the laptop. Feeling low. So glad to have you all to chat to. Well, you're welcome for joining. You're very welcome. And thank you for joining us, Lisa. I was trying to say two things at once and failing. Oh, starting to rain again. That's a lot of rain. But hopefully we can cheer you up. Georgia says to Nimue, agreed. I steer clear of international companies without PDF options for the same reason. Yeah, it just seems a little short-sighted, especially when it's a pattern that's provided on pieces of A4 paper or letter-sized paper. But yes. Gin and Pin says, I feel more protective of my online name than my real one. I was upset to find someone almost copying my name on Instagram, but she either left or changed name. Ah, interesting. Nimoy says, don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, there's 83 of us and 31 likes, and I promise it really does help. Wow, it's raining. Jokely says, mangles the like button repeatedly to no avail after the first mangling. Just got a message. Oh, I'm not going to read it online. I shall read it later. Jenny Pin says, and also someone recently tried to take over my Instagram account. Must say Instagram sorted out the problem in a couple of hours. Ooh, nice. Fox says, it's so cold today. May I ask what the dress is in the back? Ooh, which one? which one? The pink one that's hanging up. That's a dress that our cleaner bought and needs mum to hem. Dear Grace says, hello peeps, finally caught alive after a few weeks of working during the stream. Hope you're all well. Very well. How are you, my lovely? Nimoy says, somewhere safe is dangerous. I bought the hooks to make earrings ages ago. Now I want to crochet the dangles for my bestie. Can't find the hooks. Yeah. Tia says, hello, Shining Peeps. Hello. Aaron says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning. Joker Clee says, I'm having the same issue with a couple of light ballasts. Nimoy, light ballasts, Nimoy. Lol, I know that I bought them a few years ago to upgrade the kitchen lights, but do you think I can find them now? No way. Yeah. That's why I thought a hook for the key by the front door would be a good idea, because otherwise we put it somewhere and then lose it. Yeah. Gia Gracer says, I put some bits and pieces for a bag I'm making for my best friend in a safe place. It's so safe I had to repurchase the magnets and hardware. Mum does that a lot. Debbie says, good morning. Which silly sod forgot to put the cover on her car yesterday so it's covered in snow? Oh no. And Ari says, the dress you're currently wearing resembles a picnic dress. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like this one. I like the bright colours of this one. I definitely needed some bright colours today, so I put these on. Gin and Pin says, do you ever find the original lead for the light box? I once lost an earring in my really small bathroom, never found it, had to get a new one made. Benefits of buying bespoke handmade jewellery. Nice. Yes, we did. We found it in a tin labelled A3 Lightbox lead that Mum had put away with the label on the inside. So we have two leads for the Lightbox now. And the tin is labelled and stuck. The label is sticking out the right way. But now that I know where it is, I will never forget again. Because I remembered putting it somewhere safe, but for the life of me, I couldn't remember where. But yes, we did find it. Lynn is here. Hello, hope all is well. Very well, thank you, Lynn. How are you? Joker Lee says, I'm trying to avoid starting to sing a Toto song at the moment. Yeah, now I've got that in my head. Thank you. Lisa says, decided no Christmas tree or decks this year. Grandbabies are likely to be forcibly adopted as I failed a guardianship assessment and I'm in a bad emotional pain. Just getting through the day is a struggle. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry for you. Yeah, I can understand the not wanting to do any of those things. But do come and hang out with us if you would like some festive distraction. But we are here for you. Dear Gracer says, we've had some storms here this week. Definitely needed the rain. All our grass has died, but now we have all the hot, muggy weather, which is awful. Can't wait for autumn and winter. You can have my autumn and winter. I'll have your summer. Anna's here. Hi, Aaron Peeps. How are you? Very well, thank you. How are you? Niminaria sends Lisa supportive hugs. Joker Clear says, earworm successfully implanted. Yes, damn you. Good Gracer says, no Christmas tree for us this year either. Our old husky puppy is basically the Tasmanian devil of destruction in dog form, and I don't want to risk him eating the tree or breaking the baubles. We're making a DIY gingerbread house instead. Oh, nice. Gin and Pin sends Lisa some hugs too. Peter says, bit late to live, but I was watching one of your other vlogs and forgot it was Sunday. Yeah, there's a lot of me at this time of year. I do apologise. Most people seem to be quite happy that there's a lot of me at this time of year, but I do get to the point where I'm just like, oh, that's a lot of me. I filmed for the Patreon peeps. I did film a Patreon behind the scenes exclusive waffle this week, but it's basically Vlogmas. So I've decided that I'm going to sit down and film a specific Patreon exclusive kind of like plans for next year. Thank you for this year. And I'm going to put that up next week because I haven't filmed it yet. So I'm probably going to film that tomorrow, I think. But yeah, I did try and do an exclusive behind the scenes waffle, but honestly, that's what Vlogmas is. So I was just like, eh. And I remembered last year I got around it by pre-filming a bunch of days in November and putting those videos out over the first couple of weeks of December so that the Patreon peeps had the exclusive waffles. And I couldn't do that this year because I was filming so many other bits and pieces to put out in December. So I'm not neglecting the Patreon peeps, and I do appreciate massively that you guys are willing to support me in that way. But when I came to edit the Patreon waffle, it was just like, I've said all this. I've said all this. I don't have enough going on in my life to like daily vlog and then behind the scenes vlog, because it's just like there isn't any more. That's it. So yeah, I'm gonna put out a Patreon exclusive thank you. And yeah, there's a lot of me this month. I know that. Oh yes. Good Gracer says to Lisa, so sorry to hear that. Many hugs. Lisa says, thank you so much. I've never felt pain like this. I'm so sorry to bring everybody down, but I really do appreciate you all so much. Making a felt Xmas wreath for a raffle. That's lovely of you. That's lovely of you. And honestly, I mean, I've obviously never gone through anything like that, but I think one of the things that helped me when we were going as as a planet going through something that was really traumatic was having a space to escape to. So hopefully this can be a nice little quiet corner for you to escape to anytime you would like to, Lisa. Elena says a lot of shine is good. Peter says, very happy there's a lot of you. Oh, this is good. Anna says, loving what you're wearing. Great color combination. Thank you. Yes, it's one of my favorites. I like this a lot. Jojo said, I just asked long-suffering husband if I should share some of my dreams on the feed. He chuckled and replied, you probably get blocked. My dreams are really irreverent and off the wall. Yeah. Yeah, maybe let's not. Jen and Pin says, might put a tree up. Calpurnia loves climbing. Kato probably will as well, so decorations might not be needed. Yeah, just kitty decorations. We don't decorate, as you guys know, until after Papa's birthday, which is on the 9th. And I think that's that's a Saturday, because Thursday, 7th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, Saturday. So Mum has an annual subscription to this concert thing she goes to at Diwali. Tennyson's place in the West Wight. But they put concerts on once a month and she goes, and it happens to be that night. Now Dad doesn't want to go. She did invite him, so I have suggested that Dad and I go and get ourselves some fancy steaks and have a steak dinner at home and watch a movie. So that's what we're going to be doing. But we put the Christmas tree and decks up after, which I think Mum wants to do on the Sunday, which I'm kind of now thinking about it, dreading, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So yeah, no Christmas trees for us until after Papa's birthday. Still need to make Papa's birthday present. He's already bought his Christmas presents. He's gonna have nothing to open on Christmas Day. But yeah. Debbie says, have you tried making Christmas decorations from your fabric or paper stash? Maybe a couple of videos there for you. Yes, I have, but I did it. God, I did it 11 years ago because I was still in London. I remember I sat up, so I didn't film it, but I did make Christmas decorations with my paper stash. I'm not hurting for Christmas content ideas. I have 3 videos a week plus Vlogmas plus the Hangouts plus the Zoom calls scheduled for the rest of this month. And whilst I like the idea of doing things like that, I just don't have time. So yeah, the Patreon for me is incredibly important, as I've mentioned a couple of times now. It's incredibly important because genuinely this year would have looked very different without it. I would have had to have gotten another job because Google and YouTube had some real advertising revenue issues, which was nothing that I could do anything about. So without Patreon, I wouldn't have survived this summer. And that might sound, I'm not living paycheck to paycheck exactly, but I'm pretty close to it. And my buffer that I did have disappeared last year. I mean, it's all gone downhill from since 2020, but that's not anyone's fault, and I'm not saying that it's anyone's fault. It's not technically my fault either. It's not like I've done anything wrong. It's just, lots of stuff has happened that has changed everything. So Patreon is incredibly important to me, and for the majority of times, because whenever anybody signs up for Patreon, I get to say hello and welcome, and I do. Whenever anyone leaves Patreon, there's an exit survey, and not everybody fills it out, but they do. And I get to see, I don't get to see what person said what, but I do get to see why people leave. And majority of times it's because they had given the amount that they wanted to, they had had a change in financial circumstances, which obviously totally understand, and I completely understand that the frivolous things have to go. And then the one that I get the least frequently is did not deliver on content that was promised. And when I speak to the majority of the Patreon peeps, and I get to speak to quite a lot of them face to face, and then I'm active in the chat and the comments over there as well. The majority of them say that they don't sign up for the thing because there's rewards for each tier. They sign up to support the channel, to support me, and to enable me to keep making content. So it's not necessarily that they expect extra things over there. Even though there are extra things over there, they don't expect it. And like I said, the exit survey, that's one of the every now and again, somebody does say that they, it wasn't what they wanted or what they expected. There wasn't enough content provided over there. But that's the fewest ones. And it's not that I'm neglecting the Patreon peeps. And honestly, come January, you guys are going to be sick of me. But for December, because I now do Vlogmas, I literally have nothing else to say to do the behind the scenes waffles. So I've got some stuff planned for Patreon this month, but it's not going to be behind the scene waffles because Vlogmas, basically. So yeah, but again, an absolutely massive thank you to everybody that supports me from the $1, $2 right up to the $15 tier. It's amazing. Nobody's taken me up on the $400 NCW, and I'm not surprised. It's incredibly expensive. But when I priced up how much time it takes, how much I pay myself per hour, and the hardware costs, that is actually a reasonable price with a profit. So yeah. But I'm really honestly not surprised that nobody signed up for that one. So I haven't made an NCW in a long time, like years now. Lisa says, thank you, Sean. You are so lovely, and I appreciate you very much. Oh, thank you, Lisa. And again, safe space for everybody. Gig Racer says, I admire anyone daily vlogging. My life is so boring. Watching it could be a cure for insomnia, work exhaustion, so time spent on the couch recovering, spending time with the pups and husband, so repeat. Yes. I mean, my life is only marginally interesting because I do this as my full-time job. There is absolutely no way I could do this and a full-time job. I genuinely don't know how Rachel does it. I really don't. So yeah. Let's see. Anna says to Lisa, I can relate and can sympathize with you. Big hugs. Nora says, we've said it before, don't stress about Patreon in December. We all get plenty right now and we support you for that. Yes, thank you, Nimue. But you will still get to hang out with me on Wednesday evenings. You'll have to say Merry Vlogmas for the first one. So yeah. Jokingly says, oh, did I? Yes. Sean knows of what I dream, lol. A mansion with a star storm watching tower, a ginormous barn, and a shed that would put most dealerships to shame, lol. And more coos. Definitely need more coos. Blade says, happy birthday to your dad. December 9th is also my cousin's birthday. My other cousin and I share today for birthday. Oh, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. Many happy returns. Gig Racer says to Jojo, my dreams are fairly bonkers too, and I would probably get me blocked if I shared them. Yes. Yes. I've had some fairly bonkers dreams the last couple of weeks. At times. Lisa says, to Anna, have you lost your grandchildren to adoption? Jojo says, Gig Racer, we're wondering if we'll have the same issue with the little kitten-shaped tag team here and how they'll react to twinkly, colourful tree bells all over the place. This one of my, I don't know if I'll be able to find it again now, but I got, you get those memories, on the memories, here we go, on Facebook. And I was living in London at the time, and had put my tree up, and it was Chiana's first Christmas tree. And it's not a picture of Chiana. It was just something I saw on the internet and was just like, that is perfect. But it was also exactly how Chiana looked. I did film a little video this morning. Why have I taken a screenshot of that? I want a screenshot of that. I was sat upon, so I couldn't come to work. She's very cute. Very cute. Anka says, I love to see a lot of you. Oh, thank you. Inaria says, happy birthday to your father. Thank you. Luminaria says, I was thinking about asking you to make an NCW using your new colour palette. Ooh. I was thinking about doing an updated version because there's a few tweaks that I have made to it since making that video, but that video still stands. I really like it. And it is my most viewed video. Lisa says, I didn't know you had a Patreon. I will check that out. Can probably only afford the lower tier, but very happy to support you, Shan. Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. But yes, it's always linked in the description down below. Una's here. What Nimue said. Oh, thank you, Una. Lisa says, sorry to be thick, but what is an NCW? Necessary clutch wallet. My most popular video. So yes. Let's see. Inari says, happy birthday to you, to Tristan. I think I've got that right, haven't I, Artie Blade? Do I have that right? I want to say that. Or is it Darcy? Is it Darcy? I'm having a mind blank. Words are hard. Luminaria says, necessary clutch wallet. And Gracer says, the necessary clutch wallet by Emmeline Bags. Yes. Tristan, thank you. I was like, oh, Artie Blade, Tristan. And then I was like, no, don't say it because it's wrong. But it isn't. Thank you very much. Jacob Clee says, we solved the whole knocking the tree over thing whenever we had rodent control officers in the house. But I don't recommend mine unless you like a look of baler twine as an ornament. Baler twine as an ornament. Yeah, we had to zip tie ours to the wall a couple of times. Chiana was never left unsupervised with the tree because I did have glass baubles. I still do somewhere. But yeah. Lisa says, thank you to Gig Racer. Jojo says, haha, yes, that's exactly the real life meme we're expecting. Yeah. Nimue says, thanks for the heads up. I shall not have my full month. I shall not have my mouth full for greeting then. I hope I can also go back to dance class this week. Currently still hiding from the rest of the household. Oh, yes. How are you feeling, you poor thing? She has panini. You'll have panini. Anna says, Lisa, apologies. I should have added better context. Repain, lovely. And Aaron says, can someone please help me find my sewing mojo? I'm desperate to find it again. Yeah, I did do a video about that earlier this year, but I don't know if any of those methods will work, but they're all methods that I tried. Definitely make something quick and that you know fits you and that you know you love and that you wear. But if you haven't got one of those patterns, slightly more problematic. Una says, okay, time for lunch. Have fun. Yes, you too. Thank you for joining us. Michelle says, good morning, peeps. Shan, I'm really loving Vlogmas. Your parents are absolutely sweet. The three of you have a great relationship. Love it. I'm already invested in all of the advent calendars. Yeah, we're enjoying it as well. I'm kind of really desperate for my hot chocolate, and I don't know if Mum's home or not yet. So, yeah. And Ari says, does your cat climb your Christmas tree? She hasn't, but only because I never let her near it. So yes. Jokingly says, berries Nimue in enough home remedies to satisfy even the most ardent prepper. You guys make me giggle. You do make me giggle. I am going to call it a day for today. I've been waffling at you for an hour and nearly 10 minutes, but I'm pleased with what I've got done, even though it still looks like chaos behind me. It's now organized chaos. So yeah. But I do need to crack on and get the pencil cases made because that's Tuesday's video. I also need to edit the final little bit for this evening's Vlogmas because I did not film yesterday evening. I said I was going to and I did not. And then we need to film today's Vlogmas. And what else do I need to do? Eat. Food would be good. And more editing. I did not work as hard last night as I was planning on. I did one video. In fact, I did like half of one video, as I say. But there will be a Vlogmas today and tomorrow, and it'll be fine. And it'll be totally fine. So yeah, there will be only one video tomorrow. There will only be a Vlogmas tomorrow. So only one dose of me. But there will be hopefully 2 videos on Tuesday, and then 2 videos on Thursday, and then 2 videos on Saturday, and then a hangout on Sunday, and then there will be Vlogmases every day, and then there will be the Zoom call with the Patreon peeps on Wednesday evening. So there's a lot of me still, which I'm so glad you guys are enjoying. Thank you very much. Let me catch up with the chat and then I will call it a day. Elena says, will you combine your calendars with Mum's? No, I don't like gin. So Mum's is safe. And honestly, I had a couple of drinks the other night after the book club or during book club, and I really didn't feel very well the next day at all. And it really wasn't worth it. It was nice, but it wasn't that nice. It was a couple of glasses of red wine and I felt awful. So no, I think I've stopped drinking. I don't think even a glass of red wine is worth it anymore. So I think I've stopped drinking. I might, having said that, might have the occasional singular cocktail every now and again because I do enjoy cocktails, but I will probably stick to the mocktails because I enjoy those just as much. So yeah. And Ari says, oh good. Anna says, I will be putting my buttons on my shirt today and hopefully that will go in what I'm calling Adventmas. Yes, I saw your first day of it with the little birdies. They were so cute. And the little robin, also cute. Nimue says, I'm feeling much better, thank you, but still not safe company according to the test. But I get to bring you guys to lunch with me. Nice. Jokingly says, organised chaos is current state of affairs around here, lol. Well, at least for me, since the rest of my family refers to everything as sheer and utter disaster, even though I know where everything should be in the pile, lol. Nice. Gig Racer says, hope you're feeling back to normal soon, Nimue. Enjoy Vlogmas. Bye all. Have a good week. You too. Lisa says, thank you, Sean. Thanks, everybody. Please take care and stay warm. Sending all my love from deepest, darkest Devon. And Nimue says, have a lovely week, everyone, and stay healthy. Highly recommended. Jojo says, it's been lovely as ever. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday all. Bye all. Yes, you enjoy it too. And I will see you all this afternoon for more Vlogmas, and then tomorrow for more Vlogmas, and then next week for another live hangout. But yeah, lots of Vlogmas and goodness in between. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like the stream peeps, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.